going. Hello, everyone. This is our Module 3 project. I'm Tony Wynn.
And I'm Caroline Hergenrether.
Let's get started. So, the novel we are going to be analyzing is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
The prompt we decided to do is from 2007. It says, works of literature often depict acts of betrayal. Friends and even family may betray a protagonist. Main characters may likewise be guilty of treachery or may betray their own values. Select a novel or play that includes such acts of betrayal. Then, in a well-written essay, analyze the nature of the betrayal and show how it contributes to the meaning of the work as a whole. We thought Frankenstein really exemplified this prompt and is what we will be analyzing.
So, the thesis that we wrote was, in Mary Shelley's novel, Frankenstein, there are two main acts of betrayal. The first is Victor betraying the monster he created by denying him, which then allows for the monster to betray Frankenstein by killing his loved ones. And we found 5 quotes throughout the novel to support this thesis. And the first quote that we found, so the first betrayal incident in this novel is Victor's betrayal of nature. Victor fervently studies science and comes to start his newest work, creating life out of death. Furthermore, this act of creating life completely betrays nature because life is something that should be created naturally. So, Victor betrays the monster as soon as the monster comes to life, and Victor is filled with intense revulsion. He explains in this quote, I desired it with an ardor that far exceeded moderation, but now that I had finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. Victor immediately turns his back onto the monster that he put so much time and effort into. Because the monster is ugly, Victor is horrified. He leaves the monster to live on his own, taking no responsibility of the life he created. Victor could have easily betrayed the monster he created out of pure fear or disgust, but it doesn't change the matter that he betrayed something that no one else has to depend on but its own maker. So this is the first act of betrayal, and we think that Victor betraying the monster leads to the monster's acts of betrayal towards Victor further on in the novel.
The second quote is from the perspective of the monster and shows the same betrayal that we just talked about. And the quote is, hateful day when I received life, I exclaimed in agony, accursed creator, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turn from me in disgust? This kind of plays in the theme of a person, a human playing God, a Victor playing God and the creator, and whereas God never turns on what he creates, Victor wouldn't even look at him, and the monster claims he turned from him in disgust. And so that is Victor betraying his monster by just not accepting him.
So in the third quote we chose was, you, my creator, would tear me to pieces in triumph. Remember that, and tell me why I should pity man more than he pities me. So this is from the perspective of the monster, and it just further shows his hurt and agony from the betrayal of Victor. And we think that this quote leads into a lot of the acts of violence that the monster commits to Victor because he felt that his heart was broken.
Yes, this feeling is shown in our fourth quote that says, I continued for the remainder of the day in my hovel in a state of utter and stupid despair. My protectors had departed and had broken the only link that held me to the world. For the first time, the feelings of hatred and revenge filled my bosom, and I did not strive to control them. But allowing myself to be borne away by the stream, I bent my mind towards injury and death. This is a true turning point of the monster. This is when he goes from just appearing to be a monster to truly becoming one. He kills the loved ones of Victor, which in a way is betraying his creator. But Victor should have seen it coming when he abandoned his own creation. This act of the monster killing Victor's loved ones is not so much a betrayal of Victor as it is a betrayal of the monster himself. The monster sacrifices his good morals in order to get revenge on Victor, which does not seem like something of his nature.
And in our last quote, Our last quote states, when I reflected that they had spurned and deserted me, anger returned, a rage of anger, and unable to injure any human, I turned my fury towards inanimate objects. As night advanced, I placed a variety of combustibles around the cottage. So, this is the quote showing the monster burning down the cottage out of anger from Victor's betrayal. And this just further shows the acts of violence that the monster feels he has to take out to get revenge on Victor and the humans that have betrayed him.
And the outcast is prevalent in this novel, and there's actually two. The two main characters we believe are both outcasts in different ways, as we've been talking about Frankenstein and the monsters. The monster is an outcast, so the question is, what defines the outcast?
So Frankenstein is an outcast because he is the one that continues to strive for more scientific knowledge, which allows the creation of the monster. Um, and shunned he was shunned by a lot of society for creating the monster. And then the monster is, of course, an outcast because of the way he looks and of how he was created. And he would never have been accepted in, in any human society. So, and this is our works cited page. We found a lot of our resources on the internet, and our quotes were from the work of literature. Thank you so much for listening.